I remember one specific Tuesday in my first year of college. It was a day like any other, but for me, it felt like a final exam I hadn't studied for. The task was simple. Walk into the bustling student union and find a place to sit for lunch. My heart started to race. My palms felt damp. It felt like every single person in that room had stopped their conversations just to watch me. I imagined them whispering, judging my clothes, the way I walked, the awkward look on my face. That feeling, that intense, burning spotlight was my constant companion. It made the simplest things, like raising my hand in class or joining a conversation, feel like climbing a mountain. The fear was paralyzing. It wasn't just about being shy. It was a deep, gut-wrenching dread of doing something wrong. What if I stumbled? What if I dropped my tray? What if I tried to say hello to someone and they just ignored me? These weren't just passing thoughts. They were loud, screaming headlines in my mind, replaying on a loop. This internal monologue convinced me that staying hidden was the only safe option. So I often ate lunch alone in a quiet corner of the library or skipped it altogether. The loneliness was painful, but in my mind it was far less painful than the imagined humiliation of being seen. So what is this powerful force that can make a simple hello feel so impossible? Social anxiety is more than just feeling nervous before a big speech. It's an intense, persistent fear of being watched and judged by others. It's the worry that you will do something embarrassing or humiliating, leading to rejection or ridicule. This isn't a logical fear. It's a deep-seated, emotional response that can hijack your body and your mind. It turns everyday social interactions, from making small talk with a cashier to attending a work meeting, into high-stakes events where you feel your very worth is on the line. The physical symptoms are very real and can be overwhelming. Your heart might pound in your chest like a drum. Your hands might get sweaty or start to tremble. You might feel a shortness of breath, as if you can't get enough air. These are not just in your head. They are your body's fight or flight system kicking into high gear. It's treating a conversation with a coworker like you're facing down a saber-toothed tiger. Mentally, social anxiety is a storm of negative thoughts. You might find yourself constantly worrying about upcoming social events for days or even weeks in advance. During a situation, your mind might go completely blank, making it impossible to think of what to say. After it's over, you might spend hours analyzing your performance, picking apart every little thing you said or did. The fear of judgment is at the very core of social anxiety. But where does this fear come from? For most of us, it's the voice of our inner critic. This is that nagging, critical part of your mind that is always on high alert for flaws. It tells you that you're not smart enough, not funny enough, or just plain not good enough. It's the voice that predicts failure before you even try. Don't speak up in that meeting, it whispers. You'll say something stupid. Or don't go to that party. Everyone will see how awkward you are. This inner critic is a master of disguise, pretending to be helpful and protective when it's really just holding you back. This critic doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It often develops from past experiences. Perhaps you were teased as a child, had an overly critical parent, or experienced a moment of genuine public embarrassment that stuck with you. Our brains are wired to remember negative events more strongly than positive ones. It's a survival mechanism. Your inner critic takes these memories and turns them into a set of rigid rules for the future. The biggest lie the inner critic tells is that everyone else is watching you, judging you, and thinking about you as much as you are. The truth is, most people are preoccupied with their own lives, their own insecurities, and their own inner critics. By learning to identify the voice of your inner critic, you can start to see it for what it is. A scared, overprotective, and ultimately unreliable narrator of your life. You can learn to thank it for trying to protect you, and then choose to listen to a different, kinder voice instead. Overcoming social anxiety isn't about flipping a switch. It's about taking small, consistent steps. Think of it as building a toolkit for courage, one tool at a time. The first and most accessible tool is your breath. When you feel that wave of panic rising, the racing heart, the tight chest, bring your attention to your breathing. Practice a simple technique. Breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold it for a moment, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. The second tool is to challenge your worried thoughts. Your anxious mind loves to jump to the worst-case scenario. When you hear that inner critic predicting disaster, ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? What is a more realistic outcome? Third, start small and practice. The only way to show your brain that social situations aren't dangerous is to face them. But you don't have to start by giving a speech to 1,000 people. Start with something that feels just a little bit scary. Make it a goal to say good morning to a coworker. Ask the barista how their day is going. Make a phone call you've been putting off. Each time you face a small fear and survive, you are gathering evidence that you can handle it. Fourth, shift your focus outward. When you're feeling anxious, your attention is turned inward on yourself. Your racing heart, your worried thoughts, how you think you look. A powerful technique is to deliberately shift your focus to the people and environment around you. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most important tool is self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. You are going to have good days and bad days. There will be times when you face a fear and it goes great, and other times when you feel awkward or retreat into your shell. That is okay. It is part of the process. As you start to use these tools, you will notice a gradual but profound shift in your life. The world starts to open up. A life that once felt small and constricted by fear begins to expand with new possibilities. That invitation to a party is no longer a source of dread, but an opportunity for connection. That work meeting becomes a chance to share your ideas instead of a test to be endured. You start saying yes more often. You begin to realize that the goal isn't to be fearless. It's to feel the fear and do it anyway. The courage was inside you all along. You just needed to give it a chance to show up. Life on the other side of social anxiety isn't about becoming a different person. It's about becoming more fully yourself. It's about letting the real you, the one with unique thoughts, a sense of humor, and a desire to connect, come out from behind the wall of fear. You will find that people are drawn to your authentic self, not some perfect version you thought you had to be. The energy you once spent on worrying and analyzing can now be used for building friendships, pursuing hobbies, and enjoying the simple moments of life. Remember, this journey is a marathon, not a sprint. Every small step you take is a victory. It's a declaration that you are more powerful than your fear. You deserve a life filled with connection, joy, and freedom. A life where you are no longer a spectator but an active participant. There is so much hope. You are capable of quieting your inner critic and rising above social anxiety. You can learn to be yourself, not just when you're alone, but out in the world, where you belong. The spotlight is off. It's time to step onto the stage of your own life.